Jeff Kaplan's 3 o'clock hour with J-Mac on KSL News Radio.
Jay, once again, people have made the mistake of following their GPS into the wilderness. You talk about these tech things all the time. Do you warn people about the dangers of using GPS?
No, I never have.
Well, we have to talk about
Yeah,
this.
we talked about it. When Apple Maps came out, remember, there were all kinds of problems with that. But in general, you kind of like to think when that paved road has turned into a dirt road, you might want to start, rethinking what you're being told.
In other words, using common sense. Well, I asked Dave Cawley, our executive producer and avid outdoorsman, to stop into the studio. This latest case is unbelievable. A couple just followed their GPS down a grand staircase.
It blows my mind. Here's what, let me set the stage for you. Gerald Byler and his wife Helena, they were staying in Kanab. They're from Houston. They're not from around here. They wanted to see Lake Powell, right? You're here, you're tourists. You want to see Lake Powell.
Doesn't everybody?
Yes.
Right? So you say, GPS, take me to Lake Powell. They ended up way far out in the middle of nowhere. And you're talking to a guy who likes to take these dirt roads and go explore. This is well outside where any tourist goes. In fact, I actually want to just play for you this piece of sound. This is Helena explaining how they ended up where they did.
When I press on the GPS, we follow the GPS. And we never realized that it was not 89, which we were supposed to be on 89.
89 she's talking about is Highway 89.
Yeah.
The big paved road. So your point, right? When you leave the pavement,
Yes.
that's a huge red flag.
Yes.
But there were others along this route that they were on. In fact, they talked about in this interview passing a sign that said, hey, beyond this point, you need four-wheel drive, you need extra clothes, you need food, you need water. They had none of those things, and they kept going. They kept going.
And the end result of all this was they were in the middle of the wilderness, dehydrating, hallucinating for 6 days.
Amazing that they survived.
But
though.
luckily,
I mean,
these elderly.
amazing.
Yeah, but there have been other cases like this, and I know Dave follows this kind of stuff. Just recently, we had somebody in Tooele County, right?
A guy that tried to drive over the Oakers, a trucker who got stuck, right? I mean, we did that as breaking news on your show. But the one that popped into my head, Jeff, was Karen Klein. Last winter, back in December, she and her family were trying to visit the north rim of the Grand Canyon, and they had a similar situation where their GPS took them onto a forest road. They got stuck in snow. She ended up hiking 26 miles over 30 hours, got severe frostbite on her toes, and survived. And the scary thing is, a lot of these stories don't end up with survival. They end up with a search for a body.
So the advice is, everybody.
What is the advice? I would like to trust my GPS, but you gotta have some common sense.
Now, on I-15, you're fine. Follow the GPS. But on the long and winding road, there are other ways to go. Dave, speak to this because you're the expert.
Well, the tools are great, right? When we're I recently traveled to Seattle, right? I don't know Seattle's highways. I asked Apple Maps to take me everywhere, and it did
It's
great.
amazing. Yeah.
But anytime I know that I'm going to be leaving the pavement, I do some research. Right? I pull down a topographic map, or you go into the visitor center and you say, how do I get from here to here? Blindly trusting it in an area like southern Utah is a lot different than in a big city where you can pull over at any point and just ask for help.
Well, and the question I have is, were they actually following the GPS? She said she thought she was on 89. How is the GPS not telling you you're not on 89, redirecting? I'm not sure if even the directions of their GPS were followed here.
Maybe she hung a left or right instead.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, it's really important to follow the GPS until you shouldn't, right?
Great
Good advice.
Jeff.
Thanks a lot, gentlemen.